Temple started around the early 1900s, started off as simply a room and a church and a people that wanted to tell kids the story of Jesus. And it has grown from there over the years. On any given Sunday, I mean, we have a huge swath of people that make up all kinds of generations. We want you to feel that we're excited about Jesus, that we're excited that you're here, that there's something special about being with God's people in his house, looking at his word. Like, we want people to see that, to hear that, to sense that, to feel that. I think something that people really crave in this day and age is just authenticity. And if we can be real and open about that and talk about our struggles and how Jesus is wanting to work in us to mature us and grow us and make us a better image of him, to me, I think that helps people kind of lean in a little bit more. And so, yeah, communication is obviously huge, and it's something I work very hard at to try to do effectively.
Worship at Temple is choir, orchestra, vocal team, and band, anything from traditional hymns to the most modern worship songs. We don't want it to sound, too slick produced like a recording. We want it to sound like it's just us singing, and so that encourages the people to be a part of that. We try to integrate everything together, and so that produces a lot of acoustical challenges.
Because our technology was so old and we had a lot of stuff that was just kind of band-aided together, so many of our speakers just wasn't sufficient for what we were trying to do.
Choir monitoring had been an issue, specifically because the choir is so spread out. Sopranos couldn't hear the altos couldn't hear the sopranos, or they couldn't hear themselves. And if there's conflict on Sunday morning, it's hard to focus and it's hard to worship.
When you're up on stage and you have this internal question whether or not things are being heard the way they should, it does kind of play with your psyche a little bit. Sometimes you feel like you have to speak louder than you need to. You have to focus a little bit more attention there. And so the fewer the distractions are, the best.
With many complaints and frustrations arising with our sound system not being able to be intelligible, we knew we had to do something about it. Remembering what it was like to hear a D&B rig for the first time was amazing. As we traveled and did our research, we heard for ourselves, it was like night and day from our current PA system. The clarity, just the fullness of the sound helped us understand that that is what we wanted.
As Solotech has been our integrator in this project, they've been just tremendous to work with, and we've been able to give them what our needs are. They've come back with a great proposal.
We chose KSL for a couple of reasons. It's a large space, so we needed a large format box. But then also the cardioid pattern of the KSL allowed us to avoid sending energy to the choir loft. In everything we do, we look at innovation, and D&B uses Soundscape on a variety of things. We looked at it and decided to use D&B Soundscape in the choir loft, which had never been done.
It is individualized tuning of smaller speakers that are movable, and so engineers can actually paint a picture. Sopranos hotter here, tenors hotter here. So it's given us almost individual monitor mixing for the choir.
It's been a really unique situation because they don't need as much SPL in the choir loft to be able to hear, because one, the speaker source is closer to them, and two, the localization is more natural. And anytime you can cut down level on the stage, it makes a huge impact for the whole room.
It really has a feeling of intimacy, and there's really a closeness in this room. It's really something special. Gives me a peace, gives me a comfort and a confidence.
My favorite day out of anything that I do is opening day of a new system. And they might not be able to pinpoint what the big differences are, but the engagement pinpoints it for them.
Biggest thing is like we can hear so much better. That I've sat in this seat for 10 years and it's never sounded this good, or I'm up here in the balcony and it sounds just as good here as it did I was walking from the floor up to the top. So when it comes to the future, I mean, really, we can do anything we want to do now on any level, and that's a good feeling to have. Worship is to be a center part of our life, and it should affect everything we do. But then conversely, everything we do is going to affect our worship, and that's true of ourselves, and it's also true when it comes to making sure that we have environments that are conducive to worship. that make it easy for people to lean in and listen, make it easy for people to be engaged. And I think all of that goes into, why God is blessing us right now, that it's all connected.